I was just trying to get home faster to my wife and son when my truck broke down in front of a house I'd never seen before. And that decision changed everything. In front of that house stood an enormous ancient tree, black bark, twisted branches reaching like fingers toward the stormy sky. Even through the pouring rain, I could see dozens of dark, glossy fruits hanging from its limbs, faintly glowing. My name is Elias Thorne, 38 years old. I'm a delivery driver in a small town outside Portland. Every day, I wake up at 4 a.m., drive 12 to 13 hours, come home smelling like diesel and sweat. My wife, Clara, works part-time at a cafe. She always tries to smile, but I know she's exhausted. We have a 6-year-old son named Leo, my whole world. He draws pictures of a big house with a yard and a swing, and asks me, "Daddy, when are we going to have a house like this?" I promised him we would, but the truth is, we're drowning. Rent, medical bills, credit cards, school fees. No matter how hard I work, it's never enough. Many nights I lie awake thinking, if there was any way to change our lives, even if I had to pay a terrible price, I would do it for them. That night, I took a shortcut I'd never taken. The engine died. No phone signal. Just darkness and that strange red glow coming from behind the old house. I knocked. The door opened instantly. Mr. Harlan Graves stood there. His eyes looked like they already knew my entire life. He listened to my story, then placed a small, elegant black wooden box on the table in front of me. "Take this home," he said quietly. "Open it only when you are truly desperate. Inside is exactly what you think you need. But remember, everything has a price." I took the box and left. I didn't open it there. When I got home, everything had fallen apart. Clara had broken her wrist. The bills were crushing us. Leo cried over shoes he couldn't have. That night, sitting alone in the dark while my wife and son slept, I finally opened the black box. Inside was a single black seed, glossy, obsidian-like, pulsing with faint energy. A note written in elegant handwriting lay beneath it. "Plant it. Water it with your desire. The fruits will be sweet beyond imagination. Customers will crave them. Money will flow. But each fruit that ripens will feed the tree and take a piece of your soul. The first 3 fruits, you can still stop. The 4th, the tree will claim you completely." 3 days later, the first dark fruit ripened. I picked it with shaking hands. The skin was smooth, almost warm. I told myself I wouldn't taste it. I lied. The sweetness hit my tongue so hard it almost hurt. And for the first time in years, I felt like I finally had control over my life. The fruit sold like nothing I'd ever seen. Customers craved them. Money poured in. We paid off every debt. I bought Leo the shoes he wanted. I took Clara to a real restaurant. She cried happy tears across the table and held my hand like she used to. Leo hugged me tight and said, "Daddy, you did it." For a few weeks, it felt like heaven. And that was the problem, because I started to believe it would last. Leo ran around the house proudly showing his new shoes to his imaginary friends. Clara slept peacefully on my shoulder for the first time in months without worrying about tomorrow. I looked at our bank account and couldn't believe the numbers. I finally felt like a real man who could take care of his family. But then the black vines began to grow. I started lying without thinking, raising prices, hiding money from Clara. I stopped answering her messages. Even when I saw Leo's name on my phone, I let it ring. One night, Leo showed me a drawing. It was our new house, but the man standing in front of it had no smile, just a blank circle. "That's you, Daddy," he said quietly. I didn't know what to say. Clara noticed everything. The house grew quieter. The laughter disappeared. Even her goodnight kiss became hesitant, like she was kissing a stranger. One stormy night, she took my hand. Her fingers were cold. "Elias, I don't need the big house. I don't need the money. I just need the man I married to come back. Leo is scared of you now. Please, stop. We can go back to being poor together." Leo stood behind her, crying. "Daddy, please don't grow any more of those bad fruits. I liked you better when we were poor, because you still smiled at me." I cried that night. I promised them I would stop. But when the investment collapsed and I lost almost everything again, I planted the fourth seed. At first, I thought the whispering was just the wind. Then one night, I heard my own voice whispering back to me. It didn't scream. It just said, "You're doing this for them." From that moment, I stopped arguing with the voice. I knew I should stop. I just didn't want to. Clara and Leo left on a gray, rainy morning. She didn't scream. She didn't cry loudly. She just packed slowly, like she had already accepted it for weeks. Leo stood by the door holding his new shoes. He didn't even look at me when he said, "I liked you better when we were poor, Daddy." He turned around once as if he wanted to run back to me, but then he kept walking. The door closed. The house became completely silent. I didn't remember deciding to go back. I was already driving, like something inside me knew where I belonged now. Graves was waiting under the ancient tree. "Welcome back, Elias," he said softly. "Look, your fruit has fully ripened." I thought about Clara. I thought about Leo. And for a second, I almost turned around. I used to think I was ready to pay any price. I just didn't know I was the price. I didn't fight when the vines wrapped around me. I didn't scream when the red light swallowed me. Now I am part of the tree. A new dark fruit hangs on the highest branch, glossy, perfect, and silent. And sometimes, late at night, I see headlights slowing down on that same old service road. Someone else is stopping. Someone else is knocking. You think you wouldn't choose the seed, not at the beginning, not when the price feels small. It never starts with something big, just one small choice. One time you tell yourself, "Just this once, it'll be fine." And if you ever find yourself on that road, tired, desperate, thinking you'd do anything for the people you love, be careful, because that's exactly when the tree finds you. Mr. Graves is still waiting. The black box is still waiting. And it has never stopped at 3. It's just waiting for someone like you. Next time on The Black Box, a young man desperate to escape his controlling parents will open a different box and discover that freedom always comes with chains.